Hello, welcome to West Ham Confidential here on Irons United. I hope you're all well and keeping yourselves safe out there. Yes, what a month it's been in the West Ham world. Well, nearly since no football. And I'm just kind of wondering, what will life be like after the coronavirus has passed? Or what will football be like? What will West Ham be like? The news has dried up, of course. Now, I'm sure there's lots of people out there in the internet-y world trying to put some rumours out there about certain players and transfers and club ownership and all that kind of stuff. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but let's face it, there isn't any news because nothing's happening. There are no games being played. There's hardly any training going on. We don't know when the season's going to start again. We don't know if games are going to be played to finish off this season. We don't know if there's going to be an abbreviated end to the season, an abbreviated start to next season. We just don't know. We don't know if all these games are being played behind closed doors. All we know right now, some decisions are going to have to be made before the end of June, I believe, when all players' contracts are going to come out or be out of contract, let's say, if it applies to certain players, that is. But then again, does that really matter anyway? Because in my opinion, even if you've got players out of contract and they don't want to renew those contracts or they don't want to extend those contracts because they basically want to go, then you still got the rest of your squad of players. So there's got to be some kind of way, if these games are going to continue, if they're going to continue after June the 30th, well, if players are out of contract, they're out of contract. It's as simple as that. There's talk about different ownerships and, Gold Sullivan, Brady, or Golden Sullivan selling up and getting out and taking Brady with them as well. The rumour mill just goes on and on. But I think what I wanted to know, or what I'm thinking about really, is when we all get back to normal, or when football starts again. Let's not talk about being normal. When football starts again, will it be the same? Will it be the same for you and I? The way we appreciate it, the way we love it, the way we kind of, think about it day and night? Or whether it'll just be, well, just one of those things that's incidental. I've got to say, and, I don't really spend that much time on Twitter and social media in general, but every now and again I'll get out the phone and I'll have a quick look in the news feed and see what's going on, what people are thinking. And some prominent West Ham fans, let's say, out there, you probably know who they are. Quite a few of them in the early days were thinking, well, don't even miss football really. Yeah, well, it is what it is, yeah. And I was feeling exactly the same. Yeah, there's bigger things going on in the world right now, of course, that affect all our daily lives, of course. But initially, I didn't miss football at all. In fact, it was a kind of a light relief to get away from the kind of all the pressure and the misery that surrounds West Ham a lot of the time. So it was good to get away from it. It was good not to have to worry about going to games and worry about whether we're going to get a result or any kind of performance. But it was also something was definitely missing. Something that was definitely taken out of my life, or certainly out of our lives. So you get into a situation where you kind of miss it, then you don't miss it. You kind of really want it to be back on again. Then you think, no, I can't be bothered. Then you think, well, will it ever come back? And then you think, do I even care if it comes back? And then you think, no, I do. So it's kind of like this all the time. The emotions about football in general, about West Ham, we're always there. We're all kind of, it always happens to us. But right now, it's whether any of the players are, keeping themselves up for it. They're having to build up now to when this season is going to restart, if it does, of course. So us fans, we're kind of, we desperately want it back, I suppose. We all want our lives to get back to some kind of normality, but the players, they have to get up to it. And I suppose this is one of my other frustrations with the whole West Ham, but also the whole football thing, is that, they've had this time off right now, and I know they're not playing competitive matches and properly training, as in close quarters training. So they've got to still keep their distancing as well. But even when the decision is to restart the season, I heard the other day on the news they were talking about where you're going to have to allow all the teams to have another pre-season and get the players back up, because also they're going to have lots of injuries. Well, actually, I don't buy into that, because it's not that I don't believe they should have a pre-season. I think that they can be having a lot of this pre-season now, in that the fitness has definitely just got to be there. Then it's just match fitness, and then it's just their ability to do the drills and do the training and go through the mental tactics. I don't believe that they need to have a massive pre-season before the season restarts again, or just try to get the season going. But I think one of the things that I've always thought about during this time, and let me know if you agree, let me know if you want some changes to be made to the game, to the club, to the way we're treated as fans, or anything, whatever it is, your match day experience, let us know in the comments. But for me, there'll be a couple of things that I think it's going to be a shame, and I can see it happening, that nothing will be done about it. First of all, VAR. VAR, there'll be so many problems with it. There'll be so many issues with it. And people think, oh yeah, well, it's teething problems. It's the first year of it's really in properly. Maybe just needs, wait to the end of the season. And say, well, actually, you've had all this time now. This is the lawmakers, the policy makers, the Premier League, the FA, the UEFA, FIFA, whatever it is. You've got all this time now. Actually, there should be people, working away in offices, squirreling away their thoughts as well, just to try and iron out certain issues. To say, actually, VAR, we need to improve it now. We've got the time now. You've had all this time already to improve it, to address things. What about FIFA, UEFA, talking about offside rules and handball decisions, all this kind of stuff, all the stuff that we've been moaning about for certainly this last year, since VAR's highlighted not the problems with VAR, but they've highlighted the issues with the laws, these laws, especially the offside law and especially the handball rule as well. So that's the issue. They should be addressing those. So when the season starts again and we get that first game, and the players are running around, trying to keep their social distancing apart from going for a tackle and all that kind of stuff, then the last thing we want is for it to start having VAR problems again straight away. VAR is a good thing in itself, but the model in which they're using it is wrong. So they need to address that. Let's look at players' salaries. Let's look at the way clubs are spending money on players. Well, maybe this is the perfect opportunity in the world, in the game of football, but also at West Ham, that we really start to address the way we're not only targeting players, but also the way we're paying them, the way we're playing them, the way we're training them. All these factors. Let's forget about getting new players in and a different target acquisition and a different, new commercial deal left, right and centre. Let's just put all that on hold. Let's just talk about the players that we've got, and also any players that we want to get in, and also all the players that we want to get out. But also, at what level, at what money are we going to be paying for these players? Because we can't go back to the way it was. There's got to be some kind of active attrition here on the clubs, on the players as well, to maybe reduce their money, maybe reduce their salaries, maybe the clubs don't pay for it. Now, I know there's got to be a total consensus here. And there's no way that all the clubs are going to say, do you know what, we're not going to, no. We'll agree to that, but we won't really. No. It's going to have to come from legislation, and it's going to have to come in the form of some kind of salary cap or some kind of club cap on total salaries. And I suppose you could argue that the financial fair play is there for that kind of reason, but it isn't strong enough, it isn't broad enough. Just like, let's say in the NFL in the United States, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, leave it in the comments as well, but I believe there is a club cap on salary. So whilst they might have one or two players or a few players who are on multi-million-dollar contracts, actually many of the other players are on reasonable money. Let's say they're still all millionaires, of course, but it's all reasonable money. Whereas in the game of football, actually there isn't any of that. You know, any player can have as much as they believe that they deserve, and however much the club are willing to pay. Now, obviously, it depends on how good they are. Now, you're always going to get players who are on 20, 30 grand a week, 40 grand a week, and then you're going to get the other players who are on 100, 200 grand a week, whatever. But the fact is that you're going to get very average, mediocre players playing in a top level side or league that are just being paid way over the odds. Maybe we need to have a cap on all players, and maybe we need to have a cap on the club, how much they're allowed to spend each year. Maybe the money from TV has to be poured into grassroots football. Maybe we have to have a percentage of that money that goes into the club community. Maybe we have to have a proportion of that money that goes to actually re-engaging with fans, making the experience of fans much better. Maybe we need to have that money, that television money, going into general good causes. There's a lot of praise right now for the NHS key workers, people on the front line who've been helping everybody on this during this time, and quite rightly so. But it would be a travesty if we kind of let that goodwill and that good feeling towards these people, not only in the NHS, but everybody who's supporting the company, just the country, just trying to keep it going. It'd be a travesty if we kind of get back to football and we forget about that. So maybe we need to rethink about this. Maybe we just need to rethink football in general. Now, I'm sure, as soon as the game starts again, the season starts again, we'll all be up for it, and we'll all be, you know, getting into the beauty of the game, the purity of the game, the purity of, you know, wanting to see our team do well, perform well, individual players, you know, excel, the highs and lows of everything. You know, we'll be making videos again and digesting and dissecting each game and each player. You know, I really look forward to that. I look forward to this thing that we can talk about. I've never enjoyed the off-season. I've never enjoyed all the speculation about transfer rumours and all that kind of stuff. It's a necessary evil when we're doing this kind of videos and blogging and writing and all that sort of stuff. I appreciate that. But personally, I don't really like the off-season. I just like it when we're playing games and there's something for us to talk about factually. Something that's actually happened, something that is going to happen, something to look forward to, as opposed to rumours. Right now, we're kind of in a long, very long mid-season break, like a big winter break, but it's spring, isn't it? I just think there's going to be some kind of reaction from people, from the public, from the fans, and it's not going to be an immediate reaction. Even if they decide to get the season started again, I cannot see fans being allowed to go to games for quite some time. Pubs, everything being open up again. I could be wrong. It could be like 2 or 3 weeks time from right now. We are the 24th of April right now. By the end of May, mid-June, this could all be, you know, everything could be back to normal. Who knows? You could be watching this video in a couple of months' time thinking, what's all this about? But right now, you know, under the lockdown, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? They could start the games again. I think they could start the games pretty soon, actually. But there's no way you can allow people to go and watch these games. There's no way you're going to allow the same things to continue. So, if the society and football society gradually starts ramping itself up again, we're going to have a whole period of getting back to normality, or getting used to football again, getting used to our football experience again, getting used to meeting each other again, you know, before games, having a drink, you know, having a pie, having a burger, whatever. You know, those journeys to the ground, whether you just live next to the grounds or whether you have to travel miles and miles. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's going to be a weird situation for all of us. And no doubt the players and the clubs, you know, and us as a club, as West Ham, it's going to be the same. I'm sure at some point we're all going to be starting talking about the same old things again. Goal, Sullivan, Brady, get out. What are they doing? Sell the club. Or let's get some new owners in. Are they going to put the money in? Or what are their intentions? All this kind of stuff. What about the players? He's a donkey. You know, he shouldn't be here anymore. You know, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that kind of vitriolic assessment of our club is going to return. But I just hope at the end of it, or when it does start again, that maybe we check ourselves a little bit. Maybe the clubs check themselves a little bit, and players and fans and everybody within the football world check themselves just that little bit. And maybe we could have ironed out a few of the creases in our game. Maybe we could have ironed out a few creases in the West Ham world. Maybe we just start playing a lot better. Acting better, thinking better, enjoying the West Ham experience, enjoying going to games. Pie in the sky? Maybe, who knows, but something to think about. But let us know what you think in the comments below. Let us know what you would like to have fixed by the time the seasons start again. What would you like to see changed? Would you like to see players' attitudes change? Would you like to see formations change? Would you like to see a manager change? Whatever it is. Let us know in the comments. Let us know if you think there needs to be change, or do you think actually, no, we just want the games to start again and we just have it exactly the same way it was before. Don't want to see any change. I'm happy with the way it is. I just want my football back and that's it. No right or wrong answers here, I don't think. It's just a personal opinion. Personally, I'd like to see some changes. I think we've got the opportunity to have some changes. But let us know what you think. Right, subscribe to the channel and all that kind of stuff. And check out the website, Irons United. And, well, catch you again on another video coming very soon. Ta-da now.